I was born on a horse. You were pretty much born on a bike, weren't you?
Yeah.
Problem is, everybody makes things like that look so easy. Driving looks easy. Riding a bike looks easy, but actually, it takes a fair bit of effort to learn how.
It's just muscle memory. It's like
Eventually.
Like riding a bike. Riding a horse is way more difficult. That's an unpredictable thing. A bike is predictable.
Oh no, riding a horse is way easier.
Friggling not.
Oh, it is.
Unpredictable. You think that because you've done it for so long.
Well, yeah. Because your mum used to take you down on holiday to France on the back of a 125, didn't she?
Oh, under other things, yeah. I've spent a lot of my childhood on the back of a bike and in a rider's seat of a bike. It was the glorious 80s where you could simply go and ride a dirt bike in a valley or a field or an old disused quarry, and nobody really turned their head as long as you weren't riding on the road. You weren't being a public nuisance. We would get occasional check-ins from the police. They would come and check that the bikes that we were using weren't stolen or anything like that. They weren't causing a nuisance. As long as we promised that we'd push them across any roads, they'd leave us alone, and they would just happy and get into trouble. I miss that. I miss those days. I miss that for my kids.
Didn't you used to ride a bike to school?
I, on occasion, have, yes, ridden my motocross bike on the canal paths back then, because they were pretty much disused, to school. We've been together for ages.
For ages.
But you've always seemed fairly comfortable being on the back, as long as I've not overdone. But then there's a real push to get your bike license. Why was that?
So I did my first CBT in 2018 because Helen wanted to, and Helen just said, "Do you want to do your CBT with me?" And so I did. And at that point, I'd never been in charge of sat on a bike in the driver's position, in charge of stopping and starting a turn. And so I did that. I did it on a moped, automatic, and then we didn't rush into getting me a bike, did we? Because I think it was following Christmas. That might be a money issue, to be fair. But I think that was July 2018. I think December we bought that Marauder, and we went up to a closed business park, which we had permission to ride in the car park on, and just rode around a little bit. But to be honest, I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing or that I was safe or anything. And so kind of just the bike just got put back in the garage, and then stuff getting put on top of it, and then it kept getting bits stolen off it for other bikes. So then obviously that CBT ran out. During COVID, I was chatting to Ruth, our neighbour, and she was, "I want to do my licence before I'm 50. And I said, all right, well, I want to do mine before I'm 40. And then 40 and 50 came and went. And we kept, every time we bumped into each other, we talked about it. And then one day she sent me a message saying, book this date off work. I've booked as our CBT. Like, oh, okay. So me and Ruth went and did our CBTs. Came back and I bought the YBR. I was trying to get riding a little bit. I came out with you, and I still to this day don't really know what I did wrong, but I was doing a 90-degree left turn at a junction and just got it wrong and ended up in a wall. No real damage, but it did shake me up, and I don't think I got back on for quite a while after that. And then it was wanted to do her CBT. And I remember watching her ride around that car park going, crikey, if she can do it at 17, I can do it. And so I booked a refresher lesson with the bike school, did that, and then that gave me a bit of confidence. And then I made myself every lunchtime, because I worked from home, every lunchtime when it wasn't raining, I made myself get the bike out, go down to the train station, and just ride round in circles, stopping, starting, figure of eights, hill starts, until I was thoroughly bored. And then I sort of dared to go to the next village and back. And then by Easter, I went on. You were working that Easter, so I took myself off and did the loop up over the moors and then back down through the valley. And after that, just kept going. And then Ruth got her bike, and we just started every opportunity we could. We just started going out together, and I think it was, and so me and Ruth spent ages just playing on our 125s, going out for cake and coffee, and went down to Camel Farm a couple of times and Bolton Abbey and stuff. And then I was like, right, I want to do my mods. And it was because we've been looking at loads of bikes and stuff, and I really wanted a big bike. So, but my mods did not go well. I think I learned lots from doing so many mod 1s and 2s. I think I'm probably safer for having done that many.
Yeah, you don't have the same bad habits.
No, I still do all my shoulder checks all the time. I don't, well, try not to forget to turn my indicator off, since that's what I failed my first mod 2 on. But yeah, after, I think I did my first mod 1 in, I think, May 25? No, May 24.
Yeah.
God, yeah, May 24. And then it took 4 goes to pass that, passed it in August. And the mod 2 that probably went the best was the first one. And the only reason I failed it was because I didn't cancel my indicator quick enough. We turned out of a junction, and then there was another big junction in front, and it got really busy on the road, and I just forgot to cancel the indicator, and that was the only thing I failed on. And then just test nerves kicked in. And so after my third mod 2, which was in the October, I went, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I want to put 1,000 miles on my 125 before I book again. And the plan was book in the spring. And so I took that winter to do all that riding. I did do my 1,000 miles on my CBF, and then finally passed on the 27th of May, and then on the 4th of July, off we were going to France.
Yeah,